Hey guys, we are back with some more Kingston Frontenacs franchise mode in Eastside Hockey Manager, and in this one, we have the Year 4 playoffs, second playoff run in a row. We're hoping to make it another championship season out of these Kingston Frontenacs, and we certainly have the talent to do it. And the good news, Nick Vaughn is finally back from a long-term MCL sprain, I believe it was, and he is back in the lineup, but he is only on the fourth line because he has not played in nearly, I believe it's been 4 months. Yeah, December 3rd was his last game against the Sarnia Sting when he got injured. It is now March 25th. So we're going to ease him into things here, especially since he's getting right in there for game one of the playoffs when he hasn't played in a long time. So we're going to give him fourth line time to start out. Ryan Dugas is starting, and we're going to be doing live action this time. We're not going to be, just reviewing the games after they happen. We're going to be commentating the games as they happen. Now, of course, they go pretty fast because of the simulation speed that we have it set to, but that's for the best, especially if we go on a long playoff run. Then I would rather just do that. And obviously, all the playoffs are going to be done in one video. So here we go. Not wasting any more time. Game against the North Bay Battalion. Here we go. Let's view it. First period. There you go. 2 goals by Derelick. Derelick from LaPointe and Spencer. And then Derelick from LaPointe 2 minutes later. And then Smallwood for North Bay. Second period. There you go. All right, I'll take it. Berry from Martin and Nussbaumer. MacArthur from Golovichev and Spencer. And then MacArthur from LaPointe and Rosen. And then Porsberger and Bouchard for North Bay. Can we close it out? Yes, we can. Just barely, but we did. Porsberger again for North Bay. But then Kevin Rye, the rookie, who we got in the past draft from Hall and Murray, to close it up at 6-4. And we win 6-4. Very nice. Here we go. Game number 2 against North Bay. What will this game bring your Kingston Frontenacs? First period, nothing doing. Second period, there you go. 3 goals, one from Lockhart, from McCulloch and Pelletier on the power play. Hall from Rye and Spencer, and then Golovichev from Murray and Spencer, and then Bouchard for North Bay. Third period, actually, and that'll do it. No scoring in the third period. We win 3-1 in game number 2. We lead the series 2-0, and we look to be just as poised as last year to win the OHL championship once again. Now, it's obviously very early, but, just given the season that this team had this year, and, oh no, Torrey Spencer out for 3 months with a partially torn ACL. The injury bug, I'll have to say, the injury bug did not bite us too much this year, but when it did, it bit us hard. Torrey Spencer for 3 months, my goodness. That was, yeah. I mean, obviously, that's not the biggest loss, but really any injury in the playoffs you don't like to see. How is he doing? Torrey Spencer had 4 assists in 2 games. Okay, that might actually be a big loss. Oh, jeez. All right, well, guess we're going to have to get... Is Glover back? No. All right, so we're going to have to get Jonah Nola in there. Oh, goodness. All right, so just replace for wherever he was, and we'll keep rolling with this lineup because it's been working for the most part, but now our top scoring defenseman so far in these playoffs, Torrey Spencer, is out for the playoffs, for basically until next season. So, man, that's a huge loss. All right, here we go. Again, it could have definitely been worse. It could have been Connor Lockhart or Ryan Dugas or someone like that, but still, just given his rate of production, at least so far, he's been fantastic, and that's a big loss. All right, so here we go. Game 3 against North Bay. Let's win this for Spencer. First period, and that'll be a goal for North Bay. Schluting with the first goal of the game. They got Cole Caulfield. No, that's Logan Caulfield. Okay, good. Second period, Martin from Nussbaumer, but then Bouchard and then Royer for North Bay. Third period, nothing doing, and we lose now 3-1. So no perfect playoff run. I mean, we didn't have a perfect playoff run last year, but it was close to perfect. So the dreams of going 16-0 now not in effect, but you know what? We're still a pretty good team, so I expect us to get past these North Bay Battalion. And Glover resumes practice, so let's get him in there. Let's see how Marino only with 6 average rating. We're going to take him out. We'll get Glover in. And, nope, not Marino, Glover. And we'll get you, I guess, right there. Glover's been out for quite a while as well, so we'll just see how these lines work out. And if they don't, then we'll do assistant coach best lines after this game if we don't win it. But let's go in with the mindset that we are going to win it. Game number 4. First period. There you go. Goes by Anderson from Derelick and MacArthur on the power play. And then Rye from Vaughn and Hall. Second period. All right. Goes by Porsberger and Craig for North Bay. But then Rye once again from Vaughn and Martin from Nussbaumer and Barry. Third period. Oh boy. They fought back 2 times. But luckily, we had it in us to give it back to them. Porsberger and Smallwood for North Bay get it tied at 4. Then Lockhart, the captain from McCulloch and Pelletier, and then Hall in the empty net to wrap things up 6-4. We lead 3-1 in this series. OHL Player of the Month is Flint's Evan Vierling, and the Rookie of the Month is Torrey Spencer. Poor kid. Got injured with an ACL. Right at the wrong time. Oh, man. Mark Morissette back from injury as well. So, I don't think we're going to get him in there unless any of our forwards have been really struggling, which it doesn't look like it. McCulloch having a slow start so far. Derelick, Golovachev, same thing. Nussbaumer could be better as well for what he normally does. But I'm not going to get Mark Morissette in there because I'm not even sure. Did he even play for us in the regular season? I don't think so. No, he did not. Yeah, he played 1 game in the Memorial Cup. Wow. That was the last time he played. Okay, so definitely not getting me in there right now. Let's focus on winning this series against North Bay and moving on to the second round. We lead the series 3-1. Their backs are against the wall, but the pressure's on us to finish. So let's make sure that we finish. First period, there you go. McCulloch from Anderson and Pelletier on the power play. Derelick from MacArthur and Nolet. And then McCulloch from Nussbaumer and Anderson on the power play in the first period. Second period underway. There you go. Golovachev from Lockhart and Murray, and then Jackson for North Bay. Third period, and that'll do it. Connor Lockhart from McCulloch and Anderson on the power play. So it looks like McCulloch starting to get going, and that's good news for us. And even more good news is that we win the series in 5 games. But I'm glad that we definitely pulled through, because if we lost that series as the reigning OHL champions, I wouldn't know what to say. That would not be a pretty situation. So, Stanley MacArthur has been ranked by the scouting services, and he made it into 55th place in the final rankings for the NHL entry draft. Glover made it into 122nd place. Alright, so 2 players ranked for the draft. We'll see what happens. And we will once again be facing the Niagara Ice Dogs in the second round. I can't remember which round we faced them in last year. It was either the second or third round, but we are facing the Niagara Ice Dogs once again. So let's check out the stats really quick. Not going to check average ratings or anything, mainly just points, because most of our guys probably have at least decent average ratings, I would guess. So goalie stats, .877 save percentage for Ryan Dugas in that series. Considering he had a 7 average rating, not too bad. And also we won the series in 5, so I really can't complain. Anderson and Spencer with 4 points. Poor Torrey Spencer. That is a bad injury. Jacob Murray with 3 points. Pelletier 3 points. Nola and Rosen with 1. And all these average ratings, not too shabby for the most part. Actually very good for the most part. And even these guys down here with the 6. In the 6 range, not bad. Average ratings for forwards, again, really none of these are that bad at all. Point-wise, McCulloch with 5, Derelick, Hall, Lockhart, MacArthur, Nussbaumer, and Rye all with 4, Golovachev, Lapointe, and Martin with 3, Barry and Vaughn with 2, and then everybody else didn't play. So all of our forwards had at least 2 points in that series, which obviously shows our offensive prowess. And we're getting into this series now against Niagara. Let's see what we can do against them. Hopefully, I say sweep. Well, let's see. All right, here we go. First period, And alright, so a little back and forth action, but we take the lead going into the second. Barry from Martin and Pelletier, then Merkley for Niagara. Barry from Pelletier and Anderson. And then Bohemier. And then Nussbaumer from Martin and Barry. Second period, okay. Lockhart from Pelletier and Anderson on the power play, and then Wotherspoon for them. And third period, come on, boys. Okay, they tied it up with Veilleux, who made it 4-4, but then McCulloch from Lockhart and Glover, and Barry from Martin and Murray makes it 6-4 for the final score, and we lead 1-0 in the series. General Nola injured for a few days, so I'm not sure, is that a major injury, or can he play through it? He can play through it. He's been playing pretty well in terms of his average rating, so I'm going to leave him in there. I'm going to hope it's not that bad. Oh, yeah, it's a stub finger. He'll be better by tomorrow. So we're just going to play him. Stub fingers generally don't turn into anything. So we're going to leave him in the lineup there. Game against Niagara. Game number 2. Here we go. First period. All right, so they got a goal by Bohemier, and then Derelick from Lapointe and MacArthur, and then Anderson from Golovachev and Martin. Second period, goals by Martin from Barry and Nussbaumer, and then Lockhart from Rye and Dugas. Dugas with the assist, and then Barry from Lockhart. Third period, we had that all wrapped up. They got one goal from Veilleux, but it didn't really matter too much because we had the 4-goal lead going into the third, and that comeback isn't likely. So we lead 2-0 in the series, and everything's looking like it did last year so far. So let's just keep it going. Yeah, Nolan's back. I kind of figured he would be back right after the game. And here we go. Game number 3 against Niagara. We are away now, so we'll see what we can do in their home rink. First period, there you go. Golovachev from Lockhart and Anderson. McCulloch from Nussbaumer and Lockhart on the power play. And then Pelletier from Nussbaumer and Anderson on the power play. 3-0 lead so far in the first period. Second period, there you go. We extended to 6-1. Hall from Rye and Rosen. And then Bohemier for Niagara. But then Lockhart, the captain, from McCulloch and Anderson on the power play. And then Lockhart once again from Derelick and Lapointe. And the game's not even over yet. We still have 20 more minutes to go. Potentially more, but I highly doubt it. There you go, third period. And the final score, 8-1. Martin from Nussbaumer and Barry, and then Martin again 9 minutes later from Barry and Nussbaumer. There you go. We leave 3-0 actually in the series. Misspoke there for a second, and everything's just looking basically the same as last season. Only issue is Stanley MacArthur has been injured for 2 weeks with a chest injury in practice. You don't like to see it. 7-day IR for him, and I guess that means we'll get Mark Morissette in there, unless there's someone else who's better that we could put in. Andrechuk, Beaudry, Karen's Morissette was done. Yeah, I guess it's going to be Mark Morissette, so we'll get him in, because he does have a pretty good shot for this level. 65 slap shot, 55 wrist shot. We'll see what he can do. And I guess I want to get Kevin Rye on the third line, because he has been absolutely phenomenal so far. We'll see what he can do with Lapointe and Derelick. And yeah, Dugas, he's been doing a fine job as far as I'm concerned. We keep winning games, so we're going to keep rolling with it. And we have the potential to sweep this series against Niagara. Here we go. First period. There you go. 2-0 lead so far. Going into the second. Nussbaumer from Anderson and Lockhart on the power play. And then Lapointe from Derelick and Martin. Second period. Ooh. A hat trick for Philip Ollie of Niagara. Gets them to a 3-2 lead all of a sudden. Okay, so is that Niagara's first lead of the series? I think it might be. All right, come on, boys. Comeback time. Here we go. Yeah, the comeback was a success. And a goal from Lockhart, from McCulloch and Anderson on the power play. Then Morissette, the injury replacement player, gets in there and scores a goal from Vaughn. And then Martin with the empty net to seal the deal from Barry and Pelletier. We sweep the Niagara Ice Dogs for a second year in a row in the playoffs. They've got to be heated over there in Niagara right now against these Kingston Frontenacs. There's probably a rivalry brewing, I would imagine, at least for them. So let's go on and see who we have in the third round now. Pelletier injured for 2 weeks with a chest injury in practice. What is the coach doing in practice that's making all these guys get chest injuries in the playoffs? I mean, come on. First Torrey Spencer, now Tobias Pelletier. We're going to have to get Noah Marino in there at this rate. I'm not getting Tanner Russo in. Absolutely not. He's a last resort. So I guess we'll just do replace player. So Dugas, my man, you're going to have to really step up here from now on. And we will be facing the Ottawa 67s in the third round of the OHL playoffs. So we're getting right to it. I don't think there's any guys coming back from injury, at least not at the moment. Stanley MacArthur, I'm not sure if he's going to be back in this series. He'll probably be back for the finals. Should we make it that far? And we should, given our team status at the moment. But, we have to make sure that we win as many games as possible here, obviously, without Stanley MacArthur. And obviously, he's a pretty big part of our team. He was a huge part of the team in the regular season. 54 points in 68 games. 8 points so far in the playoffs. Or actually, no, I was looking at other. 5 points so far in 8 games of the playoffs. Still pretty good. 750 average rating. So we definitely have to make sure that our big guys step up. Connor Lockhart, you need to get some goals here in this series. So Ottawa. Ottawa has a perfect playoff going so far. 8-0. We're 8-1. And Owen Sound actually is 8-0-1. So, wow. We have a really tight Final Four here. Kingston, Ottawa, Owen Sound, and Flint combined have 4 losses. So that is actually incredible. So this is bound to be a very entertaining Final Four matchup. So here we go. Kingston versus Ottawa. First period. Yeah, this is going to be tight. McCulloch from Golovachev and Lockhart, and then Gula for Ottawa. Golovachev from Lockhart and Marino, and then Dubé Ayot for Ottawa, and then Gibson for Ottawa as well, and then Lockhart from Golovachev and McCulloch. Second period, there you go. Martin from Nussbaumer, and then Hall from Vaughn and Glover, and then Lockhart from Golovachev and Murray. Third period, and that'll be a 7-4 victory. Derelick from Ryan Rosen, and then Gibson for Ottawa, but we take the 7-4 victory, and they get their first loss of the playoffs. We continue our winning streak. Game number 2 against Ottawa. Let's see if we can continue our winning streak here, or if they will put it to an end. First period, okay. So, Crete for Ottawa, and then Glover from Murray and Nussbaumer, and then Lockhart from McCulloch and Glover on the power play, and then Nussbaumer from McCulloch and Lockhart on the power play, and then Allen for Ottawa. Second period, all right, it's close. So Derelick from Lapointe and Anderson, and then Vesio for Ottawa. Third period, and that'll do it. 4-3 victory for Kingston Frontenacs. We lead 2-0. Here we go. Game 3 against Ottawa. We're at home now, so they had a better record than we did. First period. All right. Morissette from Anderson and Vaughn, and then Allen for them. Crete for them. They take a 2-1 lead, but then McCulloch from Lockhart and Golovachev. Second period. All right. We're keeping pace with them here in this game. Tolnai for Ottawa, and then Lockhart from Murray and McCulloch on the power play. Third period. We're going to an OT. Cohen for Ottawa, and then Hall from Morissette and Vaughn, and then Martin from Berry and Nussbaumer, and then Golovachev from Hall and Derelick on the power play, and then Horton and Carson for Ottawa. Get them tied up at 6. Here we go. Overtime. OT2. And they get a goal by Horton in the second overtime. 95-40. Wow. Very long game there, and we lose only our second game of the playoffs. So, it's not looking too bad, but they definitely got us tired out there. So hopefully we can come back strong in the next game. Alright, here we go. Game number 4. Back on home ice. Let's have a good performance this time for the fans here in Kingston. First period. Okay. Nolet with the goal unassisted, and then Coburn for Ottawa. Second period. There you go. Lockhart from Golovachev and Rosen. Appears to be more defensive game this time. But we'll see what happens in the third. There you go. Gula for Ottawa, but then Martin from McCulloch, and then Lockhart from Golovachev and McCulloch, and we had a much, much better defensive performance this time for our home ice fans, and we lead 3-1 in the series, 11-1-1 so far in the playoffs, so the sweep didn't happen of the Ottawa 67s, but still, we have a commanding lead. And here we go, game number 5, we're away this time, but we have the opportunity to put them away. Here we go, first period. I'll take it. Crete for Ottawa, and then Golovachev from Lockhart and Vaughn, and then Uberty for Ottawa, and then Golovachev from Rosen and Lockhart, and then Barry from Nussbaumer and Martin. Second period, we're all tied up. MacGyver for Ottawa, and then Morissette from Vaughn, and then Crete for Ottawa. Third period, oh boy, we're going to an overtime once again. Yep, this is a tight series now, isn't it? This is a tight series. Even though we're up 3-1, this still, if Ottawa wins this still could potentially not be good. Going into overtime, please Kingston, please Kingston. No, overtime number 2 again. Oh my goodness. Come on, boys. Get her done. There it is. Mark Morissette from Vaughan with the game winner, 89-57 into the game. And we win the series, and we are going to the championship round for a second year in a row, and we are currently 12-1-1 with a 5-4 win over Ottawa in 5 games. Let's go. So Stanley MacArthur is back, but do I really take out Mark Morissette, who just scored a series-winning goal for us? I don't think so. I'm going to take out Timothy Lapointe here, and we're going to get MacArthur in because we need to get him in because it's his draft year and he's ranked 55th. So we're going to help him get drafted, obviously, by playing him. So we're taking out Timothy Lapointe. And we have, ladies and gentlemen, we have a rematch of last year. Owen Sound has defeated Flint in 7 games. And, oh boy. So first, not only do we have a rematch of the Niagara Ice Dogs, but now we have a rematch in the final with Owen Sound. But first, we're going to check out the statistics so that we know what everything looks like going into this series. .890 save percentage for Ryan Dugas. Pretty solid. I mean, I expect nothing less given that we've won the majority of our games. And yeah, he has an assist as well. Can't complain. So defenseman, wait, did I just click regular season, jeez. Alright, so average rating wise, we all know Torrey Spencer, he had a solid first couple of games, but he's gonzo. Everybody else, other than Nolet, pretty solid. Point wise, Eric Anderson with 14 points, he really turns it on in the playoffs. I believe he only had 26 points in the regular season. He has 14 points in 14 games. Eric Anderson is clutch during these playoffs. Tobias Pelletier with 8 points in 9 games. So even Tobias Pelletier, who was a 7th defenseman for us last year, he only played 8 games. He had 48 points this year in the regular season and 8 points in 9 games so far in the playoffs. Tobias Pelletier, that is a name I did not expect to be a star for us this season. Jacob Murray with 7 points in 14 games. Rosen with 5. Glover and Spencer with 4. And Nolet with 2. Marino with 1. Forward-wise, average ratings, they're all pretty solid. Point-wise, Connor Lockhart with 26. Kid's a beast. He's our... Wait, is he our cap? Yeah. Okay, it just doesn't show it from that screen. Okay. I thought for a second that he didn't have the captaincy. Yeah, he has the captaincy. He is the captain for a reason. He is insanely talented, as seen here. 70 points in the regular season, 40 goals, and 26 points so far in 14 games in the playoffs. McCulloch not having as great of a playoffs as he did last year. Obviously, last year in the playoffs, he was insane. He had 37 points in 18 games, but maybe he'll turn it on here in the final, especially being on a line with Connor Lockhart. Martin and Nussbaumer with 16 points, Golovachev with 15, Berry with 13, Derelick with 10, 9 for Vaughn, 8 for Hall, 7 for Ryan Lapointe, and then 5 for Morissette and MacArthur. And the OHL Player of the Month is Connor Lockhart with 12 goals and 12 assists in 10 games. I expected no less. Rookie of the Month is Owen Sound's Maximilian Tracy, who is their goaltender. Great. It's a .941 save percentage of the play. Oh, fantastic, dude. Rats. That's not good news. They're a really good defensive team then, and they also have a stud goaltender. Tobias Pelletier, I guess I gotta get you in there, don't I? Yeah, I have to. Nola getting out there. Pelletier back in for sure. And actually, I'm gonna move Marino back down to the third pair. Yeah. And then goalie-wise, we're just gonna have to roll with Ryan Dugas. Yep, that's gonna have to do. That is gonna have to do. I think I'll get Pelletier on the power play instead of Marino. But other than that, I think those are the only changes we'll make. So here we go. J. Ross Robertson Cup final against the Owen Sound Attack. And let's give it our best shot. Because these guys, they're looking for revenge for sure from last year. Here we go, boys. Game 1 on home ice, first period. There you go. I mean, it's tight to start out. Marino from Vaughn. And then 30 seconds later, Goyette for Owen Sound. And then Golovachev from Lockhart and McCulloch. And then Murray Subban of Owen Sound gets it all tied at 2. Second period, Hall from Vaughn. And then Goyette again from Subban and Robinson for Owen Sound. Come on, boys. Get that. Go ahead, goal, please. Oh, boy. Overtime. Here we go. Carrick for Owen Sound gives them the 1-0 series lead. And we do not sweep them this time. So I would guess they're happy about that. So here we go. Game number 2. Let's see if this is going to be a 1-1 series tie or if Owen Sound will take it 2-0. First period, nothing doing. Oh boy. There's Owen Sound's goaltender at work. Second period, there you go. Vaughn from Martin and Murray. And then Martin from Vaughn and Golovachev. And then Kylington for Owen Sound. And third period, there you go. All right. Derelick from Rye and Glover. And then Martin from Berry and Nussbaumer. Their goalie is human after all. Seems like we're the only team that's been able to solve him so far with the save percentage that he had when we first checked. So, series tied at 1. Can take a nice deep breath because this is bound to go, I'm going to say at least 6 games, if not 7, because this is looking like a pretty competitive series here, especially with that first game win for the Owen Sound Attack. Game number 3. This is a huge game here. I'm going to say whoever wins this game has like a 90% chance of winning this series. Come on, Kingston. First period, nothing doing. The second period, okay. Hall from Morissette and Anderson, and then Goyette for Owen Sound, and then Derelick from Hall and Anderson on the power play, and then Carrick for Owen Sound. Third period, there you go. Nussbaumer from Martin and Berry, and then Martin in the very last minute from Nussbaumer and Lockhart into the empty net. We win 4-2, and we're up 2-1 in the series. Very good news for us, because obviously they have a pretty good goaltender. Here we go, game number 4, still in Owen Sound. We have the potential to go up 3-1. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, though, because they're a very good team. They have the potential to shut us out, as we've seen by their goaltender in multiple periods so far in this series. First period, there you go. Nussbaumer from Berry and Murray, and then Lockhart from McCulloch and Nussbaumer on the power play, then Hall from Marino and Vaughn, and then Kylington for Owen Sound to make it 3-1. Second period, there you go. Derelick from Hall and Anderson on the power play, and then Golovachev from Rosen and McCulloch Can we end it off? Yes, indeed, we do. Martin from Anderson and Berry, and then McCulloch from Lockhart and Nussbaumer on the power play. We are 1 win away from our second consecutive OHL championship. 15-1-2 so far in these playoffs. And let's hope we can make it. Oh, God. No, I forgot about this. I forgot that the OHL selection, draft selection, whatever it's called, is in the middle of the final. Why? Now we have to interrupt. You know what? Is this? I guess this is a good cliffhanger, but can we finish? I don't want to have to do the draft right now. Why are you making me do the draft right now? Oh my goodness. It's 15 rounds too. That's a whole nother video. Yeah. I'm sorry, boys. I think I'm gonna have to end it off here. I didn't want to do this, I swear. It's just the scheduling of the OHL, I guess. I don't, that's kind of, yeah. I don't like that. Trust me, I really don't. Once again, I guess a good cliffhanger, but how anticlimactic. I was getting ready to win the OHL championship and be celebrating in this video, but it looks like we're going to have to wait for that because of the priority selection being in the middle of the final. Alright, well, there you go. Yeah, I have to end this episode. It's been going on way too long, at least on the recording. It's been going way too long because the draft's going to take another probably 40 to 45 minutes. And that's at least another 20, potentially 30 minutes in the actual video. So I have to end it here. So in the next one, we will finish the year 4 playoffs. All the playoffs are going to be done in one video. And we'll do the draft. We'll do the draft first, and then we'll finish the year 4 playoffs. But man, that completely messed up my rhythm. I was getting ready to win that cup. Oh my goodness. See you guys in the next one. My goodness.